to get the final
You must be
output, what you
present
have...
at that time to vote after you watch the speeches. You must log on to Schoology to access the ballot. You may vote for only one candidate. Any ballot whose grade and student ID do not match up will be disqualified. The candidates are listed on the ballot in the order of the speeches that they are giving here today and the posters that are hanging in the cafeteria. Voting will be weighted: freshmen 1, sophomores 2, juniors 3, and seniors 4. The winner will be announced at halftime on Friday night. Adam McElhaney will be our MC, and he will introduce the speech topic and each of the homecoming candidates. Once the candidates are finished, we will thank everybody for their attention, and then we will dismiss you guys from there. So stay seated until we're done with everybody. At this time, I'd like to introduce Adam McElhaney.
Good morning. Each of the homecoming candidates will be given a response to the following speech topic. Quote, you may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, how you can still come out of it. By Maya Angelou. Describe a time in your life when you felt defeated and explain how it ended up having a positive impact on you. Our first speaker is Ava Burns.
Defeat is something everyone experiences at least once in their lifetime, but how you respond to that defeat says a lot about your person. Defeat is defined as a failure, but it's also defined as overcoming something. The first defeat I ever felt was not from a sport or school, it was from my own family. I was 9 when I found out who my birth mom was. To me, this was confusing and upsetting. I went 9 years being lied to, and then I began to ask the question, why? Why did she leave? Why didn't you tell me sooner? Why? But I was given no answers. I felt defeat for the first time in that moment. I failed to find the answers to why my own mother couldn't love me enough to stay. I failed to be a daughter that a mother wanted to keep. I had failed to be who my mother wanted. She wanted me to be like my sister Kayla, but I wasn't. I was Ava. To most, this doesn't seem like a defeat because I didn't physically lose or fail at anything, but I failed to find the answers to a simple question, and this made me lose my trust in my family's words. I felt this way for as long as I could remember. I was angry, upset, disappointed, and carried this weight of not being enough with me. It wasn't until I was 14 that I decided that I did not want to be defeated by my mother's actions. I was going to overcome that feeling. I didn't fail to be a daughter, but my mother failed to be a mother. Malcolm Forbes said, victory is sweetest when you know defeat. If I would have never experienced that defeat, I would have never learned to be okay with not always being enough for everybody. Being able to accept the fact that my mom will never truly love me is my greatest victory. A person who takes a defeat and turns it into pity, and a person who takes defeat and turns it into a lesson are going to have two different perspectives of the world. As a child, I accepted the pity from people, but as I got older, I turned my experience into a positive lesson that you do not have to be enough for everyone, because eventually there will be people who value you for you. Defeat is never permanent, no matter how big it may feel in the moment, but how you react to that defeat is what makes or breaks you as a person.
Thank you, Ava. Our next speaker will be Ian News.
Bruce Lee once said, defeat is a state of mind no one has ever defeated until defeat has been accepted as a reality. Hearing this quote made me realize even when you fail time and time again, you can rise to achieve greatness from yourself. All you must do is believe in yourself. You are only truly defeated when you have the mindset of failure. I joined the soccer team in middle school, later than all the other girls who have been on the team since they were 4. I didn't have the same foot skills as the other girls or the basic understanding of the game. Heck, I didn't even know what offsides was. I felt defeated with lack of confidence in myself. All I wanted was to be on the same level as all the other girls, but I was playing a big game catch-up. Thinking back to my 12-year-old self, all she wanted was to fit in and be like the other girls. This need to fit in caused me to practice at home, rewatch films, and take lessons from coaches. It caused a fire to spark inside of me, not to just be as good as the other girls, but to be the best I could be. Once I got to high school, I started going the extra mile to take equipment home, be hard on myself, to be good and make no mistakes. The mindset of no mistakes caused me to lose all confidence in myself after just one bad game. I was being so hard on myself to the point I wanted to give up on all the years I've been playing. I started to be lighter on myself, and instead of having the mindset of defeat after just one bad game, I'd reflect and see what I can do better. Even when I know I'm not having a good game, I help my teammates by encouraging them and making sure they know I'm here for them. I don't ever want any of my teammates to put as much pressure on themselves as I did when I make a tiny mistake. The reason I keep myself working so hard is because if I were to have a meeting with my 12-year-old self, I would want to make sure she is proud of me and the player I've trained out to be. If you ever feel defeated, remember the reason why you started in the first place, and give yourself hope to finish and achieve the greatness you wanted in the beginning.
Thank you, Mia. Our next speaker will be Riley Nesbitt.
Thinking back to my first days in middle school, all I can remember was how I already wanted to be in high school. I was looking forward to the things out of reach that seemed the most fulfilling at the time. I was rushing to the little things like spring break and the weekend just to pass time to get where I wanted to be. For as long as I can remember, all I wanted was everything I didn't and couldn't have yet. It always felt as if the only thing in my way of freedom was time. Year after year, I quickly realized the benchmarks were flying by faster and faster, bringing me to where I am today. In March of my freshman year, my 3 friends and I were in an accident that forever changed my perception of time. I was at a complete standstill, waiting by myself, unknowing the state and future of my friends. I felt defeated, like there was nothing to look forward to, nothing to look back on, or anything I could do to help. In the next year, it felt like I was always going to be stuck in the moment, like it was always going to be playing in my head. For the first time in my life, time stood still. Once we all began thinking after the accident, I could only think about how one second in time changed my entire perspective and how unexpectedly time was taken away. All of the minutes and memories I wish would fly by were actually shaping the person I would become. I realized I was wishing and rushing all these moments away only because I assumed I'd have so much more time to live in better moments. Why was I constantly rushing for unpromised time when there were so many opportunities and memories happening right in front of me that I had taken for granted? I look back and saw how quickly my years had flown by without realizing it. I began to realize life is simply a string of all those moments and memories. Rushing, wishing away time means I'm missing out on all the unique opportunities and experiences that one day I'll look back and wish I could relive. I remind myself that in this life you never know what a moment can hold, and time doesn't wait for you. As slowly or as quickly as time passes, it never actually stands still. Taking all the moments and remind yourself that every experience is a reminder of truly how quickly life goes.
Thank you, Riley. Our next speaker will be Patriot Ball.
All experience moments in life were things that goes before. It was not till the beat or your heart sinks and you feel that weird and heavy yet unforgiving stress. A time in my life when I felt that way was the summer of my sophomore year when I found out I couldn't make the team that I had started. After being told throughout the whole trial process that there was no way I would make it and there was a no-brainer for me to get on the team, I did it. As the season continued, it's fun to watch all my friends move onto the team from the new lines, making new memories around me. Knowing that I was the only one that did not make it, left me feeling completely deflated. It was heading into that moment as an opportunity to reflect and grow. I did the opposite. I let that feeling sink in. The rejection left me bitter, and I let it affect my attitude and the way I treat my teammates. It was so frustrating and sad, and I focused on instead of focusing on how I can improve, I started to blame others and I was in a different situation. Looking back now, I realize how my mindset held me back. I was just not defeated by not making the team, I was defeated by my actions. But my change did not come until the following season. I was finally able to take a step back and reflect. And that's when it hit me that it was simply just regret. I began to understand that feeling of defeat has the power to shape us into a better version of ourselves, and it teaches us lessons that succeeding cannot. When we fall short on a goal, it forces us to reflect, to look back on our actions, our mindset, and our choices. That reflection brings growth. After my time of reflection, I realized that I need to be more patient, more open to criticism, and more willing to put in the time and work, not just to meet my goals, but
excitement of a new year always brings the promise of a fresh start and a very old New Year's resolution. We always tell ourselves many different things like going to the gym or doing better in school, sports, or hobbies. But fast forward a few weeks and the majority of our resolutions seem to fade away. Soon all we're left with is the very familiar feeling of defeat. The problem with this is I have approached resolutions as an all-or-nothing challenge. I expected immediate change without recognizing the slow and antagonizing process. I have been a swimmer since I was 7, and even though this is painfully common, every single year of my high school season, my resolution was to get to the gym during off-season and rebuild myself. And every year I have failed by not staying persistent. What I've never done is sit back and recognize how far I've come and how hard I've worked. I'm at the pool 6 days a week for 2.5 hours for 3 months, and I've hit many personal records in most events that I've swam, but always felt that I can do better, and that nagging feeling of disappointment ate at me constantly. I have now realized and learned to appreciate all of the hard work and little steps that have taken me to where I am today. Resolutions often feel defeating because I view every single setback as failure. But the truth is, progress is messy and failure is a necessity. This is the year that I will make a change. I will start conditioning sooner and be in the gym every opportunity I get. Because no matter what I have thought in the past or what anyone may say, it is never too late to work for what you want. We can all agree that life gets busy and unpredictable, but a step needs to be taken back to realize all the progress that we have accomplished got us to where we are today. Missing a few steps doesn't erase that. In those moments of defeat, I now view it as a chance to learn something. Nothing is about perfection, just progress. And know that no matter how you feel, you're never alone and everything is a part of growth. I didn't fail because I couldn't stick to my resolution. I succeeded because I had the courage to try in the first place. And every time we try, we are fortunate enough to have all the lessons that we've learned along the way with us until we finally achieve what our desired goal was. So while everything can get stressful and disappointing, it's about embracing the process, accepting the setbacks, and having the courage to go after them. Remember that there's always time to make a change no matter what day of the year it is. The simple start of a new day brings new hope and possibilities.
Thank you, Ian. Our next speaker will be Amaya Jackson.
Defeat to me is the overcoming of an overwhelming period in your life where despair is felt for a certain amount of time. My state of despair was over a span of 6 months in 2020. My grandfather had a stroke in 2019 and was forced to recover over the next couple months. At his 1-year post-operation appointment, he was diagnosed with stage 4 liver cancer. This was a life-changing event for my family, to which we had to pull all our focus toward. Less than 2 months from that appointment, he passed away peacefully at home, surrounded by those who loved him most. While still adjusting to this change and learning how to deal with losing a loved one, my great-grandma was experiencing kidney failure and passed away 6 months later. The desperation my family and I felt was overwhelming. We were barely coming to terms with the loss of my grandfather, and now my great-grandma had left us hopeless once again. I have never seen so many doctors and nurses within such a short amount of time. As a child, I was very confused as to why this back-to-back cycle was going on in my family but no one else. The defeat I felt and having to learn how to keep pushing on while deeply missing 2 very important people in my life was significant. The feeling of defeat encompassed my physical, emotional, and mental well-being, affecting all aspects of my life. I was not sure if this feeling of emptiness was ever going to pass, but I knew at this young age that I needed to be strong for my family. The feeling of defeat was ever present, looming over my daily life, but I knew I had to take these negative effects and turn them into something positive. When observing the care that both of my grandparents received from the hospice nurses, I knew that this was my calling. I wanted to provide the same care and compassion they received to others who were in their end stages of life. By focusing on the life they had and the life I still had ahead of me, I was given the strength to move on and prosper. This experience has led me to conceptualize my future career choice in nursing and find my passion in life. Defeat may feel draining, life-threatening, and never-ending, especially at the age of 13. However, I now know that defeat is just temporary and necessary for growth to occur.
Thank you, Anaya. Our next speaker is Annalise Lisbon.
so motivated with these projects I wanted to do, like crocheting a present for my friend, building my portfolio, and applying for some scholarships, even just organizing my room a bit. But as soon as I got home and sat on my bed for a second, there wasn't a thing in this world I had rather done than just sit there and watch other people get their lives together while I just rot in my room for hours. There was all these small things that I really wanted to do and would be so free to get out of my mind, but I couldn't even attempt to get up and try. While this may not be a big, life-changing defeat, it was an everyday battle I kept on losing with myself, and that added up fast and made me feel terrible. One day, I couldn't handle it anymore, and I broke down. I sat in my thoughts for a while until one phrase came to my mind that stuck with me, which was, how on earth can I do everything I want to do in my life if I can't even do these few simple things? This ate at me for days until I finally tried to find a solution because what I was doing just wasn't working. So, I deleted all of my social media one at a time, seeing if getting rid of that distraction would help. And it did. Those were some of the most productive weeks I had in a long time. I felt so accomplished and had this amazing relief with everything finished and organized. But this isn't about social media. Since then, I've re-downloaded the apps. After all, it's a big portion of my life. No, it's about going through a low point and finding your way to fix it on a larger scale. Not just a quick fix that works great temporarily, but one that you can apply to your whole life, which may not even be physical, but instead a mindset to live in. I have all those apps again, I have the same temptations I had before, but when I think of that phrase, I can get up, focus on what I want to do, and accomplish my goals. I've been applying for monthly scholarships, I have new projects every week, and I actually get them done, and my quality of life has been overall better. All from one reoccurring defeat that I didn't let defeat me. Thank you.
Thank you, Annalise. Our next speaker is Shay Honker.
If you're an athlete, you may have at one point questioned if this is where you're supposed to be. Just going through a normal day at school or work, you may ask yourself the same question. Is this where I'm supposed to be? With that, you often feel pressure that you have to be the very best. Nothing less than perfection will do. Once when I was in the pool during a swim meet, I put so much pressure on myself that I became paralyzed and could not complete the event. Additional pressure was added as I knew I let down my teammates. I questioned if swimming was where I was supposed to be. Putting too much pressure on myself, I was suffering from not only physical stress, but also mental stress. I've swam since I was born. My mom had me in the swimming pool since I could even walk. I always enjoyed the water, but not so much anymore. I knew that I had to change my approach to have a better life and achieve happiness. Things that previously made me happy now only brought on anxiety and despair. Over time, I've developed a greater self-awareness and acceptance of who I am. I've come to realize that I will not always be the best or be perfect. I cannot let this desire prevent me from trying new things based on fear of failure. It is more importantly on how I judge myself and not how I'm judged by other people. I have come to realize that every day I have to just try to be the very best version of myself. I cannot worry about other swimmers in the pool or what other people in society are doing because I'm not always going to be the absolute best. I have to accept those results. I have to set realistic expectations and goals. Even if I don't meet those goals, as long as I know that I did my best, that is all that really matters. This has led to greater happiness and more positive outlook on life. I encourage everyone to reflect upon who they are through self-awareness and acceptance. Personal growth and improvement is a gradual process. It will take time and is something that everyone, including myself, needs to continually work on. Please realize that the most important thing is to go out each and every day trying to be the very best of yourself.
Thank you, Shay.
Thanks, Adam. Again, can we have a round of applause for all these young ladies coming up here and doing things that, it's difficult for them to do. Everybody to speak in front of, their peers, and they've done a great job. Good luck on Friday. Can't have 8 winners, but you guys are all doing a great job. You guys are gonna stay here until the bell rings, and then we'll report to third period. Thank you.